Welcome back to Mav's YouTube channel, where we give you all the questions and none of the answers. Actually, it's funny, but that's actually true, isn't it? We give you all the questions and you've got to work out the answers because nobody knows the answers. Students. That's a bit of a hot topic, isn't it? So yesterday, I said yesterday? Yep, it was yesterday. I gave you the problems if students leave early. Yeah, what happens if they stay late and cut into the next academic year? Well, up popped the government. I don't know whether it's a red government or a blue government, but somebody in the government came up with an answer. They said, we'll create an exemption. Whoa, fantastic, an exemption. And it's exemption 4A, summer eviction. That sounds nice, doesn't it? Summer eviction. So a student can be evicted, I think, from the 1st of June, 1st of September. Might be all good. Oh, you'd have thought I'd have looked that up, wouldn't you, before making this video, but it is stupid o'clock, so maybe I didn't look it up. It's called summer eviction, section 4A. Yeah, there's a can of worms, isn't it? So we're talking about the law here. So the law, it states, you must make it known to the student in the beginning. Okay, all right then. So has it got to be served on a prescribed form in a prescribed manner? Do they have to sign for it? Do they not have to sign for it? Can you send it by email? Well, email's changed because there's new. Well, we've just sent out letters asking now that people they have to consent to being served by email. Email's been brilliant for like the past decade or so, but apparently now they need to be asked or consulted as to whether or not they should be served by email. So if it's sent by email and you haven't asked if it's okay to be served by email, well, section 4A is not served then, is it? So it's all cut and dried. Student, section 4A, summer eviction. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, you're out. Yeah, okay. Who defines a student? What is a student defined as? No, I'm serious. Have you got to be a university degree? Can you be at college? Can you still be at school? You can sign a tenancy at what age? I don't know. That's a good question. Some people say 16. You can claim housing benefit at 16, but then you can't sign a contract at 16. It's got to be 18. So you could easily still be at school. So who defines a student? And what happens if that student is, well, that student could be me. I say, yeah, I'm a student, because I could. And what have you got to be a student of? Well, it's a simple question, isn't it? What have you got to be a student of? Now, that's a much bigger question than you think. Who can be a student, and what can you be a student of? So if somebody says, I'm doing a degree in, I don't know, oh, let's do something nice, architecture. Someone says, that's a real degree. Okay, what happens if you're doing a degree in gender studies? Not kidding, they exist. A degree in Taylor Swift, it exists. I'm not kidding. So, are they a student? I don't know. Have you got to be claiming a student loan, student grant? Who says you don't have to be claiming that, do you? And then you could go down the avenue of, do you pay monthly or you do pay in advance with your term loan? That's a different subject, different video. So what happens if you've got a full-time job but you're a student? What happens if you've got a full-time job and you become a student? What happens? Now, there's a guy I worked with, you may have seen him in the videos, on the roof. His name's Rory, big guy. Hello, Rory. Oh, big guy. What's that going on there? Rory's a student. He's a full-time student that works because he is, I can't tell you all the details because that would be very unfair. He has a full-time job and he's sponsored to do education. He's a big, clever bloke. And it's a real one too, so he ain't doing gender studies. It's a real one. It's actually a real degree. So what happens there? He's got a full-time job. So is he a student? or is he not a student? If somebody's got a job, can you serve Section 4A on them? You say, yeah, I am a student. So that person can be a student when they want to be, or they can not be a student when they don't want to be. So if you want to stay and you say, listen, it's I need to stay till Christmas because I've got nowhere to go back. I got this lovely job, or I'm seeing a girl, or a boy, or a girl and a boy. And I want to stay in the city, so can I stay till next year? Oh, well, yeah, okay, you can stay next year. Oh, isn't that great? And then what happens if something happens and they leave midway through? It's just, wow, lots of questions. And like I said, lots of questions with no answers. Not yet. And I think this is the problem. The law is very black and white, and it's very grey. So a judge, he or she, sits there and they look at the case, and each case is based on its own merits. And it really is. So, no two cases are the same. Well, they are, but not really. So it's very black and white. They look at it and if you got everything, yes, no, got it, right. Okay, let's decide the case. But the legislation is purposefully very broad. Yeah, Section 4.8, summer eviction, prescribed notice, serve it on them. But it doesn't say how it's got to be served, doesn't it? It doesn't say what you've got to do. It doesn't say here's the form. It doesn't give you any of that because they don't want to give you that, because then the more detail that you give, the more you can wriggle out of from both sides. The student can wriggle out, the person trying to evict can wriggle out, and that could be very easy. So they purposefully make laws quite bland and broad so that it can be interpreted, oh please don't, Dubai. It can be interpreted by the judge. As with all new legislation, new, the clue is in the title, new, there's no case law. So, as I've said before, you've got to get further on up the rank. You can't be quoting a county court judge because they overrule each other all the time. So appeal court. Now, the problem is, it might take years for any test cases to get to high court or appeal court level. Appeal court, geez, imagine going to London trying to get someone out. High court, let's stick with the high court. Imagine going to the appeal court. So there's no test cases because the legislation's not in. And there's this whole raft of variables. Nobody knows it. Now, in my view, they could put this whole legislation back about 2 years. But I think this is the problem. When I was a kid, I'd have homework to do. And they say, that's not in for another week. Well, that was good, because that meant that I didn't do it for 6 days. And the night before, I'd be cramming in, because that's just how people work. What, governments are any different? And I'm talking about red or blue, I'm talking about all governments. All governments. So you could stick the whole legislation back 2 years, which in my view would be a much better option, and then rethink the whole thing. But the problem is, you're going to stick it back 2 years, and then they're still not going to do anything about it. And then you're going to get to a couple of months before, and then everybody starts panicking again. You think, oh, really? They need test cases. Are you going to be the test case? Wow. I don't want to be a test case. Summer eviction, Section 4A, how was it served? Was it served? Did the student get it? Is he a student? Is she a student? Actually, I never thought about that. Imagine transgender. You've got... No, that's just a rabbit hole, isn't it? But I'm deadly serious. You sign a tenancy agreement with Mr. So-and-so, so-and-so, and then halfway through it, it becomes Miss. Have you got to reserve? Oh, I'm deadly serious. I never thought about that. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Anyway, we diversify. Section 4A, summer eviction. What could possibly go wrong? So like I said, all the questions with none of the answers. Hey, if you've got an answer to that, please, I'd love to. And if you think I got it wrong, I'd love to hear if I got it wrong as well. Although I can't see how I got it wrong because I'm not given any answers, I've only given questions. But it may be simple and someone say, listen, Mav, You talking out your backside, mate. It's dead simple. If it is, then brilliant. The road that I work on is called Gloucester Road. It's about, whoa, hugely long. There are letting agents galore down there, everywhere. And there's one like literally 50 yards up from where I am. And they do predominantly student lets. Student lets, all of them student lets. And they manage a lot of student lets. So they got like I walked past the other day, there's 5 people in there all on the phones all doing stuff. Well, you can't employ 5 people and be in charge of 2 houses. So they got to have 100 houses or more that they don't own, but they manage. Imagine having 100 times what? Let's say an average of 5 students, because some houses are going to be 8 or 10 and some might be 4 or 3. So imagine that, 500 student tenancies, or you're not sure when they're going to leave and you got a way to get them out, but you're not sure about that because no one's defined the regulations or giving you any prescribed forms. A little bit of a perfect storm coming there, whether they leave early, and I can't see any way around that because they can. I really think they can. Or whether they stay late, even with this summer eviction exemption. I can't. There's so many variables, there's so many things that can go wrong. Yeah, students. Wow.